Ever since I was a young kid in Brooklyn, growing up in Brooklyn, all of my friends, everybody paid everything in cash. Like everything was just cash. I just, I can't explain it. It stuck with me my whole life, just to always have cash on you. And I do use my debit card. I have credit cards, I have credit. I just like cash. I can't explain it. It's just something I'm accustomed to growing up in Brooklyn. Everything was cash. Like, cash is just something that everyone always trusts. You know what I mean? They don't trust checks. They don't trust, they don't even trust credit a lot of times. Everything is like cash businesses, in Brooklyn. We pay in cash, and it stuck with me my whole life. I really honestly don't feel comfortable. Like, there are people I know, friends of mine, that never have cash on them. They literally don't have like a dollar in cash in their wallet, and they pay everything with like credit and debit cards. And I just I wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel secure. I keep thinking to myself, what would happen? Sometimes, there's mistakes with the banks. You know what I mean? Something could go wrong, and, let's just say, something happens and your card is declined. Not because, that you don't have the money. Sometimes banks make mistakes. Like, I'll give you an example. There was this one time I was actually buying furniture, and this was in what was this? I think Ashley Furniture, and me and my wife picked out some expensive items, and it didn't go through for two reasons on my card. It was a daily allowance. They give you something like you could only spend something like 3 or 4 thousand a day. And we spent like 7,000. So I was so embarrassed. So I had to wait on hold, and I will forget this, for like an hour. And I finally got the Chase representative on the phone, and I was like, could you do me a favor, please? Could you increase my daily allowance for the day? They said, absolutely, no problem, Mr. Lavoy. And they increased it to like 8,000. But the thing is, it's just embarrassing. It's like I actually, look, I admit the truth. I was trying to kind of show off a little bit to the guy at Ashley Furniture, because he was a cool guy, and he was making a good commission off me, and he was treating me like, royalty, because, we were spending a lot of money. We wound up spending like well over 7,000. And, he was getting me coffee, and he just treated me with such respect. And when that card declined, I felt like such a piece of garbage. He had to come back to me after all of that royal treatment I was getting and say, Mr. Lavoy, I'm sorry, your card was declined. And it wasn't no fault of my own. I had the money in my account. It was just because of the daily spending limit. I had to call up Chase, and I had to get it increased. So the bottom line, I just like always knowing. It's like a security blanket for me. I like having cash. I just like having cash. I prefer paying things in cash. But obviously, there are certain things you can't pay in cash. Like when I pay my mortgage, that comes right out of my checking account. It's an automatic monthly debit. I'm not going to pay my bank cash for my mortgage. So there's obviously exceptions. But restaurants and, just, I wouldn't say large purchases, but just purchases that are your average purchases are done, with cash with the Apefather. That's the way I grew up in Brooklyn. That's it. That's my style. Brooklyn in the house. Cash is king.